Hi BookTube, I'm here today to talk about a new reading challenge I'm setting for myself and to invite you to come along if you so wish. So one of my goals at the beginning of this year was to read more from other countries, but I wasn't exactly meeting those goals. Majority of my reading was still from the US, Canada, England. So I need to actually put a plan in action. So I have a new challenge, Tell Me Better Meet This Goal, and I'm calling it Read the World because I'm super creative. No one else has stolen that name, so why not? I'm just kidding. Lots of people are doing this challenge in their own way, and this is just the way I'm doing it. So there are actually some challenges to this because there's not access to an English translation, or there's little to no works available for purchase in Canada. So I saw someone else who'd done this. They did a whole TED talk on it, and I consulted her list a lot for help on this project, but even she had people kind of collaborate to translate works for her and people like sending her books from their own countries. So there's going to be some countries that I can't find works from, but I'm trying my hardest. So my priority for finding books is first books written by natives of the country, and if I can't find that, a book written by immigrants to that country, and lastly would be books that take place in that country, written by foreign authors. And another priority was to try and read female authors from that country, but that was hard for various reasons as well. I didn't want to read travel guides or academic papers or erotica. I found erotica for one country, and I was just like, I'm sorry, I can't, as like asexual and aromantic, and I can't read erotica. This doesn't, I can't. Those are the only stipulations I had in regards to genre. Everything else was kind of whatever appeals to me that I can find that's written about this country, I'm going to go for it. So I have a spreadsheet that I worked very hard on and very long on. This took me multiple days, like hours at a time. Like I'd glance up and look at the clock and be like, oh, it's 10 p.m. I've been working on this for like 5 hours. I should probably think about going to bed. So I have a list of all the countries, the authors, the books, the format I have it in, and other notes that may be relevant as well. My plan is to just use a random number generator to pick the countries, because the spreadsheets have the handy little numbers along the sides, right? And I want to choose between 4 to 5 books a month to start off with. And according to math, this will take me about 4 years to complete. So it is a long-term project, but I'm really excited about it. I haven't gone through my list, and I haven't taken the time to learn how to put it on Google Docs. If you have any recommendations for any country, I'll be glad to look at if those recommendations are better than what I found. But I'm specifically looking for books from these countries because I haven't found anything for them. And that is, I'll put a list here and in the description as well. It's Tonga, Timor-Leste, Tajikstan, San Marino, St. Vincent and Grenadine, Palau, Marshall Islands, Malta, Luxembourg, Liechtenstein, Kiribati, Honduras, Costa Rica, Chad, Central African Republic, Benin, and Bahrain. Okay, so I've already chosen the first 5 books that I'll be reading in June, and the first country is Serbia, and I'll be reading Dictionary of the Khazars by Milorad Pavic, and I've had this book on my TBR for a long time, and I'm so glad that there's no longer any excuses for me to get to this. It's fiction, despite being called a dictionary. It's because it's told in the form of a dictionary, and it's about the mass conversion of the Khazar people, a semi-nomadic Turkic tribe, and their conversion to Judaism. It seems really interesting. There's a male version and a female version of this, and the female version, actually the only difference is that it has a few extra lines at the end, so that's the version I got because I wanted to know what those extra lines were. The second country was Egypt, and I chose Women at Point Zero by Nawal El-Sayadi, and I chose this book because it's another book I've had on my radar for a long time. And this is about a woman who's sentenced to death for killing a pimp, and she's in prison on death row looking back at her life and how she got to this situation, and it seems really interesting. The third country is Laos, and this is one of the countries where I found it difficult to find a native author with a book available in English and for purchase. So I went with a book by a man named Colin Cotterill. He's English, but he lives in Thailand and has set his book in Laos. It's called The Coroner's Lunch, and it's a mystery following an elderly coroner. I believe he's in his 70s, and it takes place in 1970s Laos. Sorry, I'm smiling because my cat just jumped up, and it was just so cute. She's such a little tiny monster. Are you a little tiny monster? Yeah, she loves me. You love me. Like, no, not right now, not at this moment. Oh, you just ate. Yeah, did you just eat? No kisses, no thank you. Okay. I respect you. Yeah? Tell me more. Is you just a tum-tum? Did you eat? Yeah? Okay, go look at the birds. So I guess I got super distracted there. I didn't tell you what this book is about. So it's 1970s Laos, and we are following a 76-year-old, I believe, coroner, and it's like a murder mystery type thing, but from a coroner's perspective, which I think is going to be pretty cool. So back to the regular programming. The next country was Somalia, and I chose The Orchard of Lost Souls by Nadifa Mohammed. And this is about the war in Somalia, seen through the eyes of 3 women in different social positions. So I thought that would be really interesting. I don't know much about the situation in Somalia, so I'm looking forward to learning more about that. And that's part of this whole reading around the world too, is to learn more about other countries. Number 5 is Malaysia. And for that I chose The Garden of Evening Mist by Tan Twain Ing. And I actually seen a lot of people doing that for the Asian Readathon this year. So it was on my radar. And it takes place in 1940s Malaya. And our main character studied law in England, but he moves back to Malaya, back to his hometown. So that seems really interesting. So yeah, that's my new reading challenge, long-term reading challenge. I am really looking forward to it. Spicing up my reading a little. I find that a good way to get out of reading ruts and reading slumps is to diversify your reading and get, we get different perspectives from all these different countries. There are going to be different ways of looking at things, which is really exciting to me when it comes to reading. So yeah, let me know if you have any recommendations for different books for me, and thank you for watching.